What if the grocery stores went empty tomorrow and help didn't come for weeks? Would you be ready or caught off guard? Chances are you've been thinking about it, whether it's rising crime, inflation, extreme weather, or something closer to home, or maybe someone you love went through a real emergency and you decided, that's never going to be me. If that's you, you're not alone. Millions of everyday people from all walks of life are quietly preparing. Some couples even prep in secret, only to find out later they were both doing it silently. Here's the truth they've discovered: you don't need to prep for zombies or nuclear war. The same basic steps protect you whether it's a blackout, hurricane, or civil unrest. In this video, you'll learn how to avoid wasting time on unlikely threats, build a flexible plan that works for nearly every emergency, and discover why many preppers still get caught off guard despite all their gear. This isn't about paranoia, it's about being smart in a world that's getting more unpredictable by the day. Stick with us till the end, and you'll walk away with a clear plan and practical tools to protect yourself and the people you love. Starting now. Welcome to the channel, where we help everyday people prepare with confidence. No bunkers or tinfoil hats required. If you're ready to take control and be part of the quietly prepared, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and let's get into it. Stay sharp, stay ready, let's begin. We often talk about the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, on the prepared, and for good reason. It suggests that 20% of your efforts will cover 80% of your needs. This guide focuses on that critical 20%, which gives you the most impact with the least investment. Going from 80% to full preparedness takes far more time, money, and effort with much smaller returns. Apply this principle broadly, prepare for the most likely 80% of scenarios, not the extreme outliers like fascist zombies or radioactive alien asteroids. Focus on what's realistic, not fantastical. By doing so, you build practical, effective readiness without unnecessary stress or expense. All right, let's start with the basics. Water. You can't survive more than a few days without it, right? So here's the deal. Experts recommend storing at least 15 gallons of potable water per person. That breaks down to about 1 gallon per day. But wait, why 15 gallons? Well, that covers drinking, cooking, and even basic hygiene for just over 2 weeks. Now, not everyone has space for that much water. If you're tight on storage, start small. Even a few gallons can buy you time in an emergency. Just remember, water is heavy, so store it somewhere safe and accessible. But what if the tap runs dry or gets contaminated? That's where water treatment comes in. You'll want either a portable water filter or a countertop model. Depending on your setup, these tools can turn murky water into something safe to drink. Think of them as your backup plan when stored water isn't enough. Some people also keep purification tablets or a UV pen. Others use bleach, yes, the regular kind, in a pinch, but only in extreme cases and with care. The key is knowing how to use whatever method you choose before you need it. So, quick recap: stock up on clean water, know how to treat questionable water, and make sure every family member knows where it is and how to use it. This isn't just about survival, it's about staying healthy and functional when things go sideways. And don't forget, rotate your supply every 6 months or so. Stagnant water doesn't help anyone. Still with me? Good, because next we're diving into food. No, not just canned beans forever. Let's talk smart ways to stockpile meals without breaking the bank or losing your mind. Because yes, you're going to get hungry eventually. The rule of thumb is to have at least 23,000 calories per person, which works out to about 1,500 calories a day for 2 weeks. That might not sound like much, but in an emergency, it's about staying fueled, not fine dining. Now, when it comes to stockpiling food, you've got options. Some people go all in on prepper meals that last decades. Others just keep extra of what they already eat. Think canned goods, pasta, rice, peanut butter, oats. I personally like mixing both. A few long-term meals ready to go, plus everyday foods we rotate regularly. The key here is shelf-stable, meaning it doesn't need refrigeration and can be stored safely for months or even years. And ideally, you want stuff that's either ready to eat or only needs hot water. Because if the power's out, cooking from scratch gets tricky. You don't have to overhaul your pantry overnight. Start small. Add 1 or 2 extra items each grocery trip. Over time, you'll build up a solid stash without breaking the bank. Also, consider dietary needs. Allergies, preferences, baby food if needed. Don't forget comfort foods either. Trust me, a bag of chocolate chips or a box of instant pudding can do wonders for morale when things are stressful. And hey, while you're building your supply, actually test some of this food. See what you like, what you'd never touch again. No point storing 20 cans of mystery meat you'll refuse to eat later. So, to recap, focus on calorie count, shelf life, ease of prep, and variety. Make it part of your routine, not a one-time panic buy. Still good? Perfect. Next up, we're talking fire. Yep, real fire. Let's get warm and stay safe. Okay, let's talk fire. Not the cozy campfire kind, though that helps, but the actual tools to start one when you really need to. In an emergency, fire can mean warmth, cooking, boiling water, or even signaling for help. So how do you make sure you can get a flame going whenever you need it? First, keep lighters and matches on hand. Simple, right? But here's the thing. Lighters run out, matches can get wet, so don't just have one set. Have a few and store them in waterproof containers. Then add some backup fire starters to your kit. These could be things like ferro rods, magnesium sticks, or even cotton balls soaked in petroleum jelly. They catch fire easily and burn longer than a match. Bonus points if you know how to use them. Practice now before you're stuck in the dark trying to figure it out. And hey, while we're at it, don't forget the fuel. Whether it's small sticks, dryer lint, or even old paper, having something dry and ready makes all the difference. Even in rainy weather, you can find ways to start a fire if you've got the right tools and technique. Some people also like compact stoves, like butane or alcohol ones, for controlled flames indoors or outdoors. Just make sure they're safe for indoor use if that's where you plan to use them. The point is, fire isn't just about comfort, it's about survival, and being able to start one, no matter the situation, gives you control when everything else feels uncertain. So ask yourself, do you have more than one way to start a fire? If not, start adding those tools to your list. Still with me? Good. Up next, light. Because trust me, things get real quiet and real dark when the power goes out. Let's make sure you can see what you're doing. Okay, so the power's out. Maybe it's just your house, maybe it's the whole neighborhood. Either way, it gets dark fast when the sun goes down. That's where light comes in. You need more than one way to see what you're doing, whether it's finding supplies, moving around safely, or just keeping calm. Start with headlamps and flashlights. They're hands-free and super useful. Keep a few charged and ready, and don't forget spare bulbs or LEDs in case one breaks. Also store extra batteries, AA and AA, in a sealed bag so they don't get lost or corroded. Then add some candles and lanterns. Candles are simple, cheap, and can double as heat sources if needed. Lanterns give off more light and can sit on a table or hang up for better coverage. Just be careful where you place them. Fire safety still matters. Some people also like rechargeable LED lights or solar-powered lamps. These are great if you have access to power or sunlight, but remember, tech fails. Always keep a backup method that doesn't rely on charging. And hey, glow sticks? Yeah, those little things can come in handy too, especially for kids or marking paths in the dark. They're inexpensive and last a long time if sealed. The big takeaway here is don't rely on just one source of light. Have options, practice using them before you really need to. And make sure everyone in the house knows where they are and how to turn them on. Because trust me, when the lights go out and you're fumbling around in the dark, having a solid lighting plan makes everything feel a little less scary. All right, let's talk about something most people don't think about until it's too late. Staying at the right temperature when things go sideways. If the power goes out in the middle of winter, your house can turn into an icebox fast, and in summer, it can feel like you're baking alive. So yeah, heating and cooling aren't just about comfort, they're about safety. Start with indoor safe heaters. Not all heaters are safe to use inside. Some produce carbon monoxide, which is deadly in enclosed spaces. So double check that whatever you're using is approved for indoor use. Propane, butane, or electric models made for indoor emergencies are your best bet. Then layer up. That's where extra blankets come in. Wool blankets are great because they hold heat even when damp, but even regular thick blankets or sleeping bags can make a big difference. Don't forget hats, gloves, and warm socks. Body heat escapes through your extremities faster than you'd think. And what about summer or hot climates? You'll want ways to stay cool without AC. Enter the USB-powered fan, small, quiet, and easy to run off a power bank or laptop. It won't replace central cooling, but it can help keep air moving and make a stuffy room feel more bearable. Also, consider thermal blankets or emergency space blankets. They're tiny, cheap, and can reflect body heat or block sunlight depending on how you use them. Super useful in a pinch. The key here is balance. You need gear to handle both extremes. And just like everything else, practice using it before you have to. Know how to set up extra warmth or cooling quickly, because when the grid goes down and Mother Nature isn't playing nice, being prepared means the difference between surviving and suffering. Still with me? Good. Up next, shelter, not just tents, but how to protect yourself wherever you are when things go wrong. Let's keep going. All right, let's talk shelter. In an emergency, shelter means protection from the weather, from wind, rain, sun, or even falling debris. And guess what? You don't always need fancy gear to make it work. A cheap tarp, the kind you grab at any hardware or camping store, is one of the most versatile tools you can have. It's lightweight, easy to store, and can be used in a dozen different ways. Need a quick cover over a broken window? Tarp. Want to block wind coming through a door? Tarp. Trying to build a makeshift tent or lean-to outside? Yep, that's the tarp again. You can even use it to collect rainwater if you fold the edges right. And here's another trick. Tarps help with cleanup. Whether it's covering broken glass, redirecting water flow, or helping carry debris out of your house, they're way more useful than you might think. Now, if things get really bad and you need to leave home, having something like a basic tent or even a heavy-duty emergency blanket can be a game changer. But for most people, starting with a few tarps and knowing how to use them is a solid first step. Don't forget, practice matters. Throw up that tarp in your backyard, see how it works with ropes or bungee cords, figure out how to secure it without nails or tools. The more familiar you are now, the easier it'll be when you actually need it. Because when disaster hits, you won't have time to read instructions. You'll need to act, and having the right gear already in hand makes all the difference. Still good? Awesome. Up next, medical, because injuries don't wait for emergencies to end. Let's keep going. Okay, time to talk about something most of us don't want to think about: injuries and medical emergencies. But here's the truth. When things go wrong, help might not be on the way right away. That's why having a solid home medical kit is so important. And I'm not just talking about a Band-Aid box either. We're looking at a full list of 145 prioritized home medical supplies. Yeah, that many. Because you never know what you'll need. Start with the basics: bandages, gauze, adhesive tape, antiseptic wipes, antibiotic ointment, pain relievers, tweezers, gloves. Got those? Good. Now build from there. Add items like fever reducers, anti-diarrheal meds, allergy pills, motion sickness tablets, stuff that covers common issues when you can't run to the pharmacy. Also, include any personal medications your family uses regularly. Don't forget a thermometer, medical tape, elastic bandages, and burn cream. Then step it up with things like splints, instant cold packs, CPR face shields, and even a tourniquet. These might sound extreme, but in a real emergency, they could save a life. And hey, don't forget a first aid manual. Even if you've taken a class before, stress changes how your brain works. A simple visual guide can make all the difference when seconds count. Also consider training. Take a basic first aid or trauma care course, online or in person. Knowing how to stop bleeding, treat burns, or handle fractures gives you confidence and control. The point is, your medical kit shouldn't be an afterthought. It should be one of the first things you build and keep updated, because when help is delayed, you become the first responder. And being ready means giving your family the best chance possible. Still with me? Absolutely crushing it. Next up, hygiene. Yes, even when the world's falling apart, staying clean matters more than you think. Let's keep going. All right, let's talk about something most people forget until it's too late: hygiene. When the power's out or the water's off, staying clean might not seem like a top priority. But trust me, it is. Not just for comfort, but to avoid infections, skin issues, and even serious illnesses. Start with the basics: wet wipes. These are total game changers when there's no running water. Use them for everything: hands, face, underarms, you name it. They're lightweight, easy to store, and last a long time if sealed well. Then, hand sanitizer. Yeah, we all got used to that during recent events, but in an emergency, clean hands can stop germs from spreading fast. Keep a few small bottles around in your go bag, in the car by the door, and don't forget camp soap. Basically any biodegradable, travel-friendly soap that works without a sink. It's perfect for quick cleanups, washing dishes, or keeping your gear fresh. Some people even use Castile soap because it does a little of everything: body, clothes, surfaces. Now think beyond just cleaning hands: toothbrushes, toothpaste, floss. Yeah, dental health still matters. Same with feminine hygiene products, deodorant, and even nail clippers. Small stuff that makes a big difference over time. Also consider how you'll deal with waste. Trash bags, gloves, and disinfectant wipes help manage messes safely and cut down on smells and bacteria. The key here is, hygiene isn't just about smelling good, it's about staying healthy. And when things get rough, feeling clean can do wonders for morale. So don't skimp on this part. Add these items to your kit now before you really need them. Still rolling strong? Perfect. Next up is communication, because staying connected, even a little, can be a lifeline when the world goes quiet. Let's keep going. When the power's out and cell towers are down, your smartphone might as well be a paperweight. That's why having a backup way to get info, or even send a message, is huge. Start with the basics. A NOAA weather radio. This little guy runs on batteries and gives you real-time updates from the National Weather Service, even when the internet's gone. It's like having a lifeline to what's actually going on outside your door. Some people also like two-way ham radios. But here's the catch. You've got to know how to use them. They're not plug and play. You need a license, some gear, and practice talking clearly and concisely. But once you've got it down, you can reach people miles away without relying on cell towers or Wi-Fi. And don't forget, communication isn't just about calling for help. It's about keeping calm and knowing what's happening around you. A solar-powered or hand-crank radio can pick up emergency broadcasts and keep everyone in the house informed. Also, think about low-tech options. Whistles, mirrors, even signal lights. Sometimes simple tools are the most reliable when tech fails. The big takeaway? Don't wait until the grid's down to figure this out. Have your gear ready, know how it works, and make sure everyone in your group understands the plan. Because in an emergency, information saves lives. And being able to receive or send a message could be the difference between being stuck and getting help. All right, let's talk about something that runs almost everything these days. Power. When the grid goes down, your phone dies, your lights go out, and even your radio might stop working. So how do you keep things running when there's no wall outlet to plug into? Start simple. Have spare batteries and rechargers on hand. That means AAT, AA9V, whatever your devices need. Store them in sealed bags to avoid moisture and corrosion, and label them so you know what they're for. If you've got a bug-out bag, chances are it includes a solar charger, and that's smart thinking. But here's the thing, don't rely on just one. If you're prepping for home use too, get a second solar charger or a power bank that can be charged ahead of time. Solar is great, but remember, cloudy days happen, nighttime happens, so it's good to have options. Some people also keep small battery packs or even portable wind-up chargers. Others use USB adapters that work with different power sources. And hey, if you've got a car, you've got another option. A 12V car charger can run or recharge all sorts of gear. Just make sure you have a way to start the car if needed and don't drain the battery. The point is, power isn't just about keeping your phone alive. It's about staying connected, informed, and functional. Whether it's lighting, communication, or medical devices, having backup energy gives you control when things feel out of your hands. So think ahead. Know what you're using, how long it lasts, and how to charge it again. Don't wait until the blackout hits to figure it out. All right, let's talk about tools, not the fancy ones you use for weekend DIY projects, but the essentials that help you survive when things go sideways. First up, an axe and a shovel. These are more than just yard tools. An axe can help you cut firewood, break through barriers, or even defend yourself if needed. A shovel, it digs, yes, but it also moves debris, builds shelters, and can double as a weapon in a pinch. Then there's work gloves. Don't skip these. You'll need grip and protection when handling sharp objects, broken glass, or moving heavy stuff. Trust me, blisters and cuts happen fast without them. Up next, mental health, because staying sane matters just as much as staying fed and safe. Let's keep rolling. All right, let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention, your mental health during a crisis. Survival isn't just about food, water, and shelter. It's also about staying sane when the world feels like it's falling apart. And trust me, after a few days of darkness, noise, or uncertainty, even the toughest person can start feeling the pressure. That's why you should pack a few things that keep your mind calm and your mood steady. Think board games, favorite books, headphones, or a tablet loaded with movies and music. These aren't luxuries. They're tools to help you stay grounded. For kids especially, boredom can turn into stress fast. So having simple games, cards, or coloring books can make a huge difference in keeping everyone relaxed and occupied. And for adults, yeah, we need distractions too. Reading a familiar book, listening to a favorite playlist, or even journaling helps break the cycle of worry and keeps your brain from spinning out. Also, don't forget the value of routine. Even small habits like reading before bed or playing a nightly game bring normalcy back into an abnormal situation. The goal here isn't entertainment, it's emotional survival, because when tension runs high and news is scarce, having ways to relax, laugh, or just zone out gives your brain a break. So think ahead, pack what helps you unwind, whether it's puzzles, podcasts, sketch pads, or Sudoku, whatever keeps your head clear and your heart calm. Still going strong? Absolutely. Up next, documents. Because when life gets chaotic, proof of who you are and what you own matters more than ever. Let's keep moving. All right, let's wrap this up with something most people forget until it's too late: your important documents. When life gets chaotic, whether it's a storm, fire, or sudden evacuation, having proof of who you are and what you own can be the difference between getting help fast or getting stuck in red tape forever. Start by making copies of key papers. Birth certificates, insurance policies, property deeds or titles, marriage licenses, passports, and even maps of your area. These aren't just for filing claims. They help identify family members, prove ownership, and speed up aid from relief agencies. Now, here's the smart part. Store them in two forms: physical and digital. Keep printed copies in a waterproof, sealed folder or bag. Store that somewhere safe but easy to grab, like your emergency kit or go bag. Then save everything digitally on a USB thumb drive. That includes scans or photos of IDs, insurance documents, family pictures, even medical records if needed. Plug it into a laptop later, and boom, you've got instant access to your entire file. Also consider keeping a small notebook with important numbers. Doctors' offices, insurance agents, close relatives. Not everyone thinks about it, but when phones die, paper saves the day. And hey, don't overcomplicate it. You don't need every document ever issued to you, just the ones that prove identity, ownership, and coverage. Because when you're standing in line for aid or trying to rebuild after a disaster, being able to show proof makes all the difference. All right, so if you made it this far, first off, high five. You're officially more prepared than most. Now don't just sit there. Hit that like button if this gave you real value. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's one thing you're adding to your kit this week? I read every single one, and if you know someone who still thinks prepping is just for doomsday fans, yeah, share this with them. Maybe even slip it into a DM with a little just-in-case note. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss the next breakdown. Because being ready isn't a one-and-done thing, it's a lifestyle. Stay sharp, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.